Welcome to our April 17th, 2018 Ogden City Council meeting. Let the record reflect that all council members are present, and we hope that you're not getting in trouble with the IRS. It is tax day, so just thought I'd throw that in.
The tax day got extended one day because the IRS had problems with their computers, so you have one more day.
Tax day tomorrow then, huh? I didn't think they blamed anything on anything. I thought they were just, okay, enough of that. We'll turn the time to Vice Chair Nadolski for our pledge.
Thank you, Chair Heyer. I've asked Councilwoman Chaburka to lead us in the pledge today.
Okay, please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now would you please join us for a moment of silence? Thank you. All right, the first item on our agenda today is recognitions. The first is for human trafficking. We've asked Vice Chair Nadolski, or maybe he asked us if he could. Either way, he will be making the presentation for that one today.
Thank you, Chair Heyer, and thank you to the Junior League for coming back. I don't have my glasses, and this is really small. I'm going to give it a shot. Well, thank you.
Okay.
The joint resolution of the Ogden City Council and Mayor affirming city's support of eliminating human trafficking. Whereas human trafficking is a modern-day form of slavery involving the illegal trade of people for exploitation of or commercial gain. Every year, millions of people are trafficked in countries around the world. It is estimated that annually human trafficking is a $32 billion industry, second only to drug trafficking, is the most profitable form of transnational crime. And whereas the crime of human trafficking is present in every country and every U.S. state, men, women, and children who are victims of human trafficking are deprived of their freedom, human rights, and dignity. Human trafficking takes the form of forced labor, sex, and involuntary domestic servitude, with victims being lured, forced, or coerced. And whereas traffickers often operate by using violence or threatening a person or their family, harming or depriving the person of basic necessities, making false promises, restricting contact with family or friends, limiting freedom of movement, controlling a person's identification documents, threatening deportation or law enforcement action, and or garnishing a person's salary to pay off alleged debts. And whereas the Utah Attorney General's Office has formed a Utah Trafficking in Persons Task Force to provide information, resources, and a tip line to address human trafficking at a state level. The Ogden Police Department collaborates with investigators who are involved in this task force to combat human trafficking in Weber County. And whereas the Junior League of Ogden, a community nonprofit who frequently tackles difficult social issues, will facilitate and host human trafficking trainings for a variety of agencies, offices, and local businesses in Ogden, in coordination with UTIP, who will provide experts for the trainings. And whereas it is essential that individuals are able to live without fear of being recruited, harbored, transported, or obtained, patronized, or solicited for the purposes of labor or sexual servitude. Individuals who have been trafficked should have a means of safely seek justice and be provided with appropriate access to restorative and supportive services. And whereas recognizing key indicators of human trafficking is this first step in identifying victims and can help save a life, the safety of the public as well as the victims is paramount. Residents should not attempt to confront a suspected trafficker directly or to alert a victim to any suspicions. Rather, law enforcement should be contacted and relied on to investigate and address suspected cases of human trafficking. And whereas the Ogden Police Department is well trained and working diligently in coordination with other law enforcement agencies to identify, deter, combat, and prevent human trafficking and other related criminal activities. And whereas every life is valuable and individuals should have the right to live free from degrading treatment, have freedom of movement and personal security, and not be forced into labor or committing actions against their will. Every child has the right to maintain his or her innocence and should not be exposed to corrupt or depraved content or actions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Ogden City Council and Mayor Michael P. Caldwell hereby affirm Ogden City's support and commitment to end human trafficking. The city is committed to continue exploring new training opportunities for fire and police employees to address this. We express support of the various efforts of the Utah Attorney General's Office, the Junior League of Ogden, the Ogden Police Department, and other law enforcement agencies to educate, identify, address, and eliminate human trafficking and restore human rights and dignity. Passed and adopted this 17th day of April 2018, but in order to do that, Chair Heyer, I'll make a motion that we adopt the Joint Resolution 2018-5 as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Vice Chair Nadolski and seconded and third, Councilmember Burka and Lopez, right? You get to pick. So,
You can have it.
anyway, this is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you.
Chair Heyer, we have Cindy Reinhardt here to come accept it. If you'll come take a photo first.
Yeah, we're going to do a photo, and then we'd like to hear from you, and we also have a representation here from the police department. Come on over.
Just bring it.
Kid friendly.
Sorry, Doug. I know, we got it.
What about everybody else? Everybody else?
Come on up.
Your lead, come on up.
on. And Jamie. We have a communications person.
Scoot on
How
in.
did you get some?
Yeah, well, you stand next to him. I'm not.
No, I thought it was on his box.
Come around this way some more. Go to the left.
It only took me 9 years to figure
This
that
way.
out.
All right.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Tippy toe. That's like an extra 4 inches.
I'm going to. What's your password?
Don't tell anyone your
Go
password.
Cops, go.
Okay, I'm gonna get a couple on this one too.
Oh, boy.
His will set you covered if you miss it.
I can only stand on my toes for so long.
Marcia, you got this. Thank you.
You did a great job.
The only flat-footed one in the picture.
Okay, speed.
We need to hear from you. And Captain Croyle, come back up too.
Captain. After Cindy.
I just want to thank the City Council on behalf of the Junior League for being willing to invest and partner with us in this way. I really look forward to the collaboration of not only our organization and the government of our city, but multiple organizations combining, because I really do believe that collaboration will lead to an eradication in our community of this kind of terrible epidemic that we're facing. So thank you for taking this seriously, for listening, and for hearing us out, and for being a part of this sort of new wave of attention as we move forward. I do want to let you guys know the Junior League is hosting a gala at the beginning of May, and we're going to be talking more about our efforts, what we've been doing, what we hope to continue doing, and we would love for any and all of you to come. So if you're interested in that, please contact either Ben's wife, Jeannie, or Kim Bauscher, or myself, and we'll make sure to hook you guys up.
I'll be there for sure.
Well, yes, I know you will be.
Thank you.
Again, I'd like to echo that and say thank you to this, and just know that we are committed as Ogden City Police Department. We work with the Attorney General's office. We have detectives that are assigned to the Secure Task Force, and they focus on crimes of this nature up in this community. And so we are committed to being a good community partner with this. Thank you.
Thank you. It's noteworthy to me that you know, when we were first having these discussions about the human trafficking, it sounded like this statistic was really bad, that Ogden has so much that they've found, and it's that our police are so well trained already that they're able to find it better, and which makes our statistic go up because we're finding them, and that's encouraging. It's also, it always is inspiring to me when you ladies all show up in your red and all the good things that you do. You really make Ogden a lot better place to live, and thank you for your efforts. That's wonderful. And I think we need to give you another round.
One more comment, if I could.
Oh, please, go ahead.
Just a thank you to the mayor and Mark Johnson, the administration, both in police, fire. You guys should know, and I think I've already told you in the last meeting, but when we brought this up in our joint leadership, there was absolutely no hesitation from that man. We're all lucky to all be on the same page, and we're all lucky to have you. And so thank you for the support, Mayor, and Mark, and Captain Croyle, Chief Watt, Chief Matthew, and everybody that's going to be involved. The lion's share of the work we always know is beyond here and beyond tonight. The rest with the men and women in red and blue. So thank you, and the men and women, the women in red here. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.
I just want to, if I could, just
Please do.
I'll do a quick comment. I think one of the things that I saw last time that they were here, and again this time, is that there is a passion about the women of this junior league, and a passion about our community that you can't find anywhere else. And I just really appreciate everybody being here and being part of that. I even saw tears. So I mean, that is a passion that is an amazing feat for all of you guys. So thank you for being here and doing what you do.
Okay, yes, Mayor.
Can I jump in real
Please.
quick? I would echo all the thanks for everything everybody's done. And we've said this before, but I don't investigate any of these. It's the passion of the men and women in blue that are willing to listen, show up, go to work, and figure this out. And yeah, I mean, some of the stats don't look great at the end of the day, and a lot of political environments want to just pad stats and have things to talk about. We want to do the right thing in a lot of this, and that is because of Captain Croyle and Chief Watt and our men and women in blue that are willing to get into what can be really sticky things. So we appreciate that. We support it. We'll never stop supporting that, and we really do feel a tremendous amount of gratitude for everybody that shows up and does that really difficult and emotional work.
Thanks, Mayor. Appreciate that. Okay. Next item on our agenda is a recognition for Make a Difference Day. We've asked Councilmember Stevens if he would make that presentation.
Thanks, Chair.
There you are.
Before I read this, I'd like to acknowledge Jay Louder and his group for their participation and their great help in this. Our communities looks better, and the event is generated by his staff and the public service. So I want to thank those individuals who make this event a success. Proclaiming April 26, 2018, Make a Difference Day in Ogden City. Whereas the Ogden community will come together for a day of service on April 26, 2018, Ogden's 10th annual Make a Difference Day. This event builds civic pride and unifies the community while joining collectively efforts to clean up the city in preparation for the summer events and activities. And whereas the groups of all sizes and ages are invited to participate in Make a Difference Day by organizing projects, and all residents are encouraged to do their part to improve the community by volunteering in one of these projects. The options for service are endless, and the results are significant. And whereas a Make a Difference Day has become a valued local tradition that continues to grow each year. More than 561 volunteers completed 35 city-sponsored projects last year. Many other projects were completed throughout the community. Event organizers are working hard to make this year's event even more successful. And whereas Make a Difference enhance our beautiful city for a busy summer months and set a national example for civic engagement. The extraordinary level of participation in Make a Difference Day projects is an evidence that our residents are some of the best in the country. Now, therefore, the Ogden City Council and Mayor Michael P. Caldwell do hereby proclaim April 26, 2018, Make a Difference Day in Ogden City. We express our sincere appreciation to the Ogden Public Service employees who dedicate countless hours to planning and carrying out this event, and we are grateful for everyone who donates their time and effort in making a difference in Ogden, passed and adopted this 17th day of April 2018. And I ask the approval of this proclamation by voice vote.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Stevens, seconded by Councilmember Blair to approve this joint proclamation. And this is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, wonderful. That passes unanimously.
Thanks, Jay. Okay.
Thanks, Jay.
Guess we'll take a picture, huh?
Come
on, we're going to take a picture.
Speech and a picture?
Picture first.
Picture first.
We're all lined up for the picture.
He needs a shovel.
I know.
Which way are we going?
Only one?
I tell you.
He's confident. He's confident.
Well, thank you very much. I would like to echo a little different view. Our residents are not some of the best volunteers in the United States. They are the best volunteers in the United States. Make a Difference Day has become quite a process for us. It's a chance for us to reclaim the cobwebs from the winter and put a spruce on our city so that it's ready for the first event is the marathon, and then from there on we have one thing after another, after another, after another. So it gives us an opportunity to give us a fresh look every year and to show community pride. And our citizens show it year after year after year that we do have a lot of community pride. And we also take this opportunity for all of our local neighborhood gardens and our church gardens to help contribute compost and so forth to make those as productive as possible. And those gardens produce about 80 to 85% that feed our needy in our city. And so I think this cause goes way beyond beautification. But I appreciate the council's support and the administration's support. And we'll continue to try to make our city the best city it can be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
By speech, you should consider politics. Good.
Okay, that's great. All right, the next item on our agenda is our common consent agenda. 2 items, Public Safety Employee Appeal Board appointment and annual action plan for July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2019, and that's just to set the public hearing. So, how about we back up a little bit? Thank you, Councilmember White. We have approval of minutes, and that is of the regular meeting of January 23rd, 2018. Councilmember Stevens.
Yes, I read those minutes, and so we might as well review them. And Mr. Chair, they're correct, and I make a motion that we accept the minutes that have been presented.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Stevens, seconded by Councilmember Blair to approve the minutes. And this is a voice vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Now we have our common consent agenda. Those same two items are still here. So do I have a motion for the common consent agenda?
Chair, I will go ahead and make a motion that we adopt the 2 items listed under common consent.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Blair, seconded by Councilmember White to approve the common consent agenda and set the public hearing for item B for May 1st. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. All right, next item on our agenda is a public hearing. This is for fiscal year 2018 budget amendment for the Mount Lewis and Lester Park improvements and miscellaneous grant revenues.
Chair Lisa Stat will be presenting.
Thank you. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Chair Heyer. It's a pleasure to be here. I have a PowerPoint that we went through during the work session. Just to remind you, the background behind this budget opening is to transfer some money between Liberty Park and the other parks in the city. Once Liberty Park was completed, there was about $140,000 left in the budget that had been unspent. And Public Services came with a plan to move part of those funds. Let me find my notes. Part of those funds, about $77,000, to Mount Lewis Park to help put a playground in at Mount Lewis, and also some picnic tables around the city. And then also to move $63,000 to help facilitate upcoming improvements at Lester Park. So that's the majority of a big piece of this budget opening. However, that was budget neutral. Since we're moving it from one CIP to other CIPs, that does require council approval. The remainder of this budget opening, which results in the appropriation of $242,774 more in the city budget, is related to grant awards that we've received during the year. So I'll go through those really quickly. There weren't a ton. Oh, I'm going through them really quickly.
That was fast. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we are simply moving $144,000 from one CIP to another CIP in the construction fund. And again, this will go towards Mount Lewis, and also Mount Lewis and Lester Park in the amounts of $77,000 and $63,000. We also have an appropriation or an award from the state of Utah for help with the rodeo grant, the grant they put on, and they provide helmets and other activities for the kids and teach them about bicycle safety. That is $5,000. We usually receive that every year. We also have a UCJJ grant. This will help pay for someone over at the prosecutor's office to help with victim assistance and coordination. The amount of that award this year was $111,650. And then finally, we have a Bulletproof Vest Award that was given to the city this year. That's a federal grant. The amount is $9,328. And then also a Homeland Security grant. This will go towards supplies, wages, other needs that the police department has. That award was in the amount of $116,796. And that is it for this budget opening. Do you have any questions or concerns?
Any questions for Lisa?
Sure. A quick question.
Yes.
And I should have got this earlier. Is there a reason why we don't do like the CIP as one and then the grant as another? And maybe that's just a way that we do that. I mean,
I don't know if other cities would do a separate budget opening per fund. The city's practice has just been to do budget openings for the city together.
I'm curious. I just, sometimes we don't agree with maybe one or the other. I just wondered if there was a reason that we did.
Chair Heyer, if I could.
Yes, please.
I think in previous years, there was an agreement that they would minimize the number of budget openings that come to the council. And so at the council's request, in prior years, they have always been together to just so that you're not constantly doing budget openings. So that's something they're doing at our request. If we want to change it, it's something we could certainly discuss.
Smaller budget openings are easier for me, but you have to see me more.
Thanks, Lisa.
We don't mind that.
Hey, this is a public hearing, so this is a time to address the council on this topic. I will.
Chair Heyer, I move that we close the public hearing.
Okay. Second. Okay, we have a motion, Councilmember White, seconded by Councilmember Blair to close the public hearing. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Do we have a motion on the item?
I make a motion that we adopt the proposed ordinance 2018, amending the fiscal year budget.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember White, seconded by Councilmember Stevens to adopt ordinance 2018-7. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Blair.
Aye.
Councilmember Chaburka.
Aye.
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Vice Chair Nadolski.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye. That passes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to make a comment. I'm excited to see that we're allocating funds for our parks. We took a trip as a council to Boise, Idaho, and there they emphasized that if we're going to change the neighborhoods, the investment into the parks is one method by which to do that. This is a start for Lester Park. It's an opportunity for us to not only enhance that park, but it will also enhance the newly renovated library that's there. So it's exciting to see the investments into our parks.
Thank you. Okay, next item on our agenda is public comment. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding your concerns or ideas on any topic. Now would be the time. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Kim Bauscher. Would I have to say my address again? Okay. I just want to say that I think it's really, I thought you might enjoy this tidbit because we were here for our joint resolution, so is Jay's office, and the interconnectivity of everything is quite impressive. So Junior League also has an Oasis Community Garden up 2445 Monroe, and we benefit greatly in our program there from Make a Difference Day, and the offices, Stacy with the I Volunteer program in particular has been hugely supportive, and then Jay's departments too with the all year round we are supported with that facility out there. And he mentioned a little bit that it's not just about sprucing up the neighborhood, it really benefits the food access programs that we're providing out there and some of the education things. And coming from out of state, I'm originally not from here, Make a Difference Day is crazy cool. And it's not something that I don't think that exists in a city our size at the level that is happening here. And so it's something that I think as a council it's interesting to see all those different layers and how we cross-connect and that team player across the board in the city. So I just wanted to say thank you, and also to you guys for continuing to support that. And I think it gives good awareness behind it when you adopt it at this level too. So thank you.
Thanks, Kim. That was very well said. That is one of the things that I think really makes Ogden unique is the collaborations that are developed. And thank you for pointing that out. Anyone else? Okay. Comments from the mayor?
I would agree, and Kim, I appreciate you coming up and saying that. I've said this twice today in different public events, but Ogden's been recognized as the second most charitable city in the United States of America. charitable hours, or charitable contributions and volunteer hours given. So it is a really unique community. And I also want to say that something really unique happened on Monday. There's a young girl named Sarah Callister Sellers who took second place in the Boston Marathon. Ogden High grad, Weber State athlete, full-time nurse, no sponsors, but worked through the worst conditions in decades to completely shock the nation in that event, one of the premier marathon events. I know a handful of us up here have endurance athletes that we work with all the time, recognize the effort and commitment that brought, but that's been a really, really cool thing for a lot of people. That's been a story that carried internationally, and I want to give huge props to Sarah Callister Sellers for her second place and shocking the world in the Boston Marathon.
In her second marathon.
Ever.
Ever.
Yeah. First one was Huntsville.
Yeah, first
Should have been
place.
Ogden.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won first in the Huntsville, but just to qualify for Boston, and then absolutely shocked the world. So that was a really, really cool story of a young girl that did something
And she's
phenomenally
a
amazing.
A
here.
wonderful young lady also. I mean, she's...
Rose, nurse anesthetist in Tucson, and said, I'm not pursuing a running career, I'm just doing this for fun, and still stole the glory from every other phenomenal world-class athlete that traveled from all corners of the globe. That's just kind of the grit that that's how we do here. So
That's great.
a couple of water balls and maybe a few pairs of socks.
Awesome. There's lots of swag, though. Yeah, it's awesome.
But that was a phenomenal
That's great.
event and opportunity and story. So I think the more we can do to say that that's amazing, the better we are for it.
Great. Thanks, Mayor. Council members, any comments?
I have, you go first.
No, I was going to borrow his glasses, so you go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I just started the Citizens Academy last week, and I have to say, even after just one meeting, it's a very enlightening experience to understand what some of our public servants sort of deal with on a daily basis. So I just appreciate, the whole program, and I think I would highly recommend it to anybody else that would like to try it out. Very intense situations, and I was only getting sort of an overview of police officers' day or life, and then also the dispatchers. So I'll keep you up to date, but I think I get to drive a car or something this week, so we'll see how that goes.
Wow. Cool. Vice Chair, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks again for the glasses. These work really good. But Kim, while you're here, first of all, thanks for sticking to the 3 minutes that I forgot to start on you, so thanks for that. But you talked to the interconnectedness. I got a text from Janie today, who got a text from a member of the Junior League.
Who is his wife?
Yeah, my wife, Janie. They were cleaning out the basement at the Art Center and found a resolution from the Ogden City Council designating the week of May 3rd to 11th in 1985 as You Gotta Love Ogden Week. And it goes on, whereas the Junior League of Ogden is committed to promoting investment in unification and enthusiasm for the greater Ogden area. This is just, the interconnectedness, it just never ends. It's amazing that we were gathering today to work on our joint resolution as a community, a council, and as a mayor. And you had your league army down in the basement cleaning out things and found that interconnectedness goes back decades. So thank you for that. Thank you to Jay and your team. Please give my appreciation to Stacy. The work she's already doing will make a difference day, and then the work that's ahead. It definitely makes a difference. I totally agree.
Any other council member comments?
Thank you for those.
Sure. Okay, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Lopez, seconded by Councilmember White to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, it's a wrap.
You guys are so fast, I missed that part too.
That's it.
I'm too slow.
I usually
Need a
wait on the
speed
motion
test.
to adjourn, yeah. We should just drag it out. Stay on. I love it here. Oh, man. Gotta work on it. Gotta work on it. It's true.